Good morning. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
We have all kinds of fun stuff. You know, for anybody out on the internet, they have no idea what we do before. There's all kinds of stuff that's edited out, mostly music and people having fun, but they don't like to see things like that. This is a graduation invitation. Any of you ever remember Molly Hopkins, and Andrea's daughter? She's graduating from college.
Wow.
Imagine that. Isn't that something? And we have somebody else that's graduating. Jan? Yeah. Do you remember her? She was here. Yeah, she does come back. Yeah, she went here for years, and now she's graduating from, is it WSU? Cool. Fun. Long haul. Long haul. Stuff going on this week. We have our second service at 6 o'clock tonight. 6 o'clock tonight will be our second service. And, of course, we have the Oneness Blessing today, after service. And you're starting something new next month. Wednesday night.
On Wednesday night, we're going to start the Mind Shifter group material over again, starting with the original DVD. If anybody wants to start with the cycle again, they're welcome to come on May the 29th. May the 29th. Any questions, call me. I'm on the list.
The HCC meeting, Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Do we know what the topic is, Jan?
The power of and.
The power of and. So, the HCC meeting. Essential oils on Tuesday night. Of course, Mind Shifters on Wednesday. Lotus Group on Friday. And then on Saturday, goodness gracious. Angelica Merkaba, Earth Healing, and Jan's having a Voices from Beyond that evening. So there's stuff. Jan, are both of these classes at the same time on Saturday?
No.
Different times? Oh yeah. One's 10 to 2 and one's 3 to 5. I see it. All I have to do is read. So yeah, it's difficult sometimes. And next week, surviving the zombie apocalypse right here. So it'll be surprising. Yeah. I don't know, can you?
Deb Peterson is a friend of mine, and that angelic Merkaba ascension activation, I think is going to be mind-blowing. And she is probably one of the most tuned-in people I know to not only Earth spirit but also interdimensional. She's very cosmic and very Earth connected. So everything she does is mind-blowing. And she's also offering on Friday evening a portal building class at a local cemetery for building portals for helping souls to transition. So I helped her do one at Corral Creek in Benton City, and it was just really, it's fascinating, and it's a real service to the souls that are stuck. So anyway, there's a couple flyers back there. If you have any other questions, I'm her go-to person here in the Tri-Cities.
Thank you. We helped a lot of souls pass. Was that just last week that we did that? So that was a cool service. We do have a couple of patron saints, John Lennon and George Carlin. So, and John, if someone thinks love and peace is a cliche that must have been left behind in the 60s, this is the problem. Love and peace are eternal. And George, well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part. What does it mean to pre-board? Do you get on before you get on? I don't know. Get bored on the way? Okay. I've done some of Will Rogers in the past, but we'll do some again. What a tragedy. The gentleman passed in 1935 in a plane crash. I mean, some of this stuff I mean, it's important. You know, never slap a man who's chewing tobacco. It's important. Never kick a cow chip on a hot day. I may have told some of you this, but when I was a kid, there was this one cow pasture, and a bunch of guys, yeah, it was all guys, you know, kids, what can you say? And we're out there, and the cow patties are, you know, like about like this, and there were all kinds of these twigs that were perfect V's, and they were stringy, so, you know, we'd pull them back and shoot cow chips at each other, and it was interesting, the ones that were too hot, but loads of fun, loads of fun. There are two theories to arguing with a woman. Neither works. So.
Don't worry, you're not alone, Tracy.
This side. A very popular error, having the courage of one's convictions. Rather, it is a matter of having the courage for an attack upon one's convictions. Nietzsche. Anybody ever read much of Nietzsche? I mean, it's hard to read sometimes, but interesting stuff sometimes.
You drink enough coffee.
Is that what it is? Okay, maybe there are some other substances that might work better, I don't know. No one who deserves confidence ever solicits it. Never claim a right that you can ask for as a favor. Yeah. They're smart people. They say good stuff. Though pioneers built their houses and barns out of logs, trees were so thick they were regarded as a nuisance. It was hard enough to cut them down, but the stumps were an even more serious problem. Frontiersmen frequently swapped work with one another in clearing new ground. After a log rolling, it was necessary to pull up as many stumps as possible. Some frontiersmen would brag about their ability to pull up the big ones, but it wasn't unusual for the boaster to suffer defeat with a stubborn stump. As a result, anything that proves too difficult for a person is said to stump them. Imagine that. Imagine that. Didn't do this. I did these in the wrong order. How did that one get in there? Where? I've got this all messed up. Okay. More Washington stuff for everyone that's all over the world watching us. Imagine that. Where is Washington, or what do they do there? The northwesternmost point in the contiguous U.S. is Cape Flattery on Washington's Olympic Peninsula. The nation's largest exporter is Washington, and I knew that. It is amazing how many things that we are like number one in the country and sometimes in the world for products and for produce mostly. Representing, biggest hop producer in the country, representing $34 billion and 5% of all U.S. exports, forest products, aerospace, apples, tulips, hops, mint, wheat, and all kinds of other stuff. Kind of amazing. We do a lot of stuff here in Washington. St. Peter is sitting at the Did I do this one? Or is this the one I'm finishing with? We'll do this one. St. Peter is sitting at the pearly gates when two guys wearing dark hoodies, sagging pants arrive. St. Peter looked out through the gates and said, Wait here, I'll be right back. St. Peter goes over to God's chambers and tells him who is waiting for entrance. God says to Peter, how many times do I have to tell you, you can't be judgmental here? This is heaven. All are loved. All are brothers. Go back and let them in. St. Peter goes back to the gates, looks around, lets out a heavy sigh. He returns to God's chambers and said, well, they're gone. The guys wearing hoodies asked God, no, the pearly gates. Oops. Oops. Hey, she really liked that one. Is your coffee coming out through your nose? Or? No? Okay. The Alaskan wood frog, I knew this one and this still fascinates me. The Alaskan wood frog survives long, bitter Arctic winters by turning into a frog sickle. It becomes frozen solid, and for several months its heart stops beating and it doesn't draw a single breath. When the weather warms, the frog miraculously thaws and comes back to life. I mean, it's just, we heard about this years ago, and it's like, really? How does that happen? How does, do what?
Is that why it's bitter?
Could be. Could be. Snooze alarms when you rearrange the letters. Alas, no more Z's. A decimal point when you rearrange the letters. I'm a dot in place. The earthquakes when you rearrange the letters. That queer shake. Who knew? Who knew? Did I do that one? I did that one. Okay. More punography. What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary? Jan liked that one. Yeah, that was good. It is a thesaurus. Yes, yes. What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary? A thesaurus.
I'll go home now.
Bring eggs back. England has no kidney bank, but it does have a Liverpool. There, now that's the appropriate response right there. Yeah. I used to be a banker, but then I lost interest. I dropped out of communism class because of lousy marks. Oh, man. These ones stink.
Not all of them.
Nescafé managed to arrange a meeting with the Pope at the Vatican. After receiving the papal blessings, the Nescafé official whispers, "Your Eminence, we have an offer for you." Nescafé is prepared to donate $100 million to the church if you change the Lord's Prayer from "Give us our daily bread" to "Give us our daily coffee." The Pope responds, "That is impossible. The prayer is the word of the Lord. It must not be changed." "Well," says the Nescafé man, "we anticipated your reluctance. For this reason, we're going to increase our offer to $300 million. My son, it is impossible, for the prayer is the word of the Lord and must not be changed." The Nescafé guy says, "Your Holiness, we at Nescafé respect your adherence to the faith, but we do have one final offer. We will donate $500 million, $500 million to the great Catholic Church if you would only change the Lord's Prayer from 'Give us our daily bread' to 'Give us our daily coffee. Please consider it." And he leaves. The next day, the Pope convenes the College of Cardinals. "Well, there is good news," he announces, "and some bad news. The good news is that the church is going to come into $500 million. The bad news, Your Holiness," asked the Cardinal, "well, we're losing the Wonder Bread account." Ha ha.